Hey peoples, now this is my third video on my stuff, or things what I have found in my place, what I have kept for years. Now, the first thing I'm going to speak about is Rock Band, more specifically Rock Band 3 I guess, but only because I've already got the song packs from the other ones, Rock Band 3 being one of the most recent ones you can get. Now, Rock Band to me is quite important because I have been a musician for years, not a high class musician, don't get me wrong, but I have started off doing guitar, did vocals, and actually did drumming for a while. I actually had a drum kit for about 6 months, and I didn't have a drum kit longer than that because, no lie, the Environmental Health Bureau came around to my house when I was at sixth form, or I guess that's the higher end of high school for Americans, if there is such a thing, kind of like after, slightly but before uni. Yeah, neighbours apparently worked night shift and we had no idea, so I was happily doing it middle of the afternoon on my days off, thinking, oh, perfect time, or maybe like 7 in the evening, perfect time, you know, they're not in bed, whatever. Found out they weren't night shifted. It was the actual worst times possible to be having a drum kit. You know, absolutely fine. Come round, right? Let us know. No, Environmental Health Bureau came around saying they had a written complaint, a long written complaint about it. So, didn't have a drum kit much longer, which is a shame because I really enjoyed that and I was getting fairly good. So, Rock Band is my salvation from that. It's almost always my favourite to play the drums on it. It's not as loud as a drum kit. It's still fairly loud, so I don't play it that often. I do vocals quite a bit too, so I don't hog one instrument. It's quite nice to go, oh, you can go on the drums, I'll just switch to vocals. You end up having a few arguments about that though, because I mean, vocalist kind of needs to know the song more. The other people have to hit the things that come on the screen, and yeah, vocalist sort of has the last say on the songs. But absolutely love it. Got up to expert on both vocals and drums, so if anyone has a Rock Band on Xbox, let me know, and you never know, might actually play that. Could do the whole sort of band against band thing. Yeah, very, very fun stuff. Absolutely love it. Got loads and loads of DLC for it. I believe they have actually shut down, well, they're not shut down, I think the store's still there, but they aren't adding any more DLC for a while now, or they haven't been for a while, which is a shame. I think they said they were focusing on other things, maybe Dance Central, my other favourite of course. Same people, I believe it's the same people, yeah. Anywho, love it. Now next is something very special to me, a film I absolutely adore from the moment I saw it. I think I saw it in the cinema first. There was a bit of hype about it and I was sort of like, oh cool, geeky sort of thing, yeah, that'd be quite awesome, sounds good. Then I watched it, and the other people who know this film and love it as much as me will straight away get it. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Limited edition, of course, cover. The comic book style one, if there's any other. Underneath you've of course got the Nord DVD there, but it's kind of more pastely comic book style, this cover. This film has so many references to geek culture, it's amazing, especially, well, mainly gaming. I knew I loved this film on 2 occasions. When he walks into his apartment, I guess, which he shares, and I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's, let's say that stuff is tagged in a certain way on the screen, and I was just like, that's really cool the way they did that. And the other thing was, I guess this doesn't give away too much unless you've seen the film, so it doesn't matter, the P bar, that tickled me a bit, as well as a million other things in it as well, including the soundtrack and including Ramona Flowers. I can never remember her name. Was it? Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead in that film. Now, I have an affinity for women who have extreme coloured dyed hair. I kind of prefer that style. Not that I exclude anyone else, but if I see an attractive woman with dyed hair, pink, green, whatever, something out of the ordinary, I'm instantly like, hello, you know? So this film just, so many connections for me. Really, really love the style of this film. And I believe it was the first time I saw Michael Cera in a role where he wasn't this really shy sort of bystander character. Yes, he is shy in some ways in this film, but at the same time he's got a bit of an ego about him. He kind of knows he's a bit cool, and that was quite refreshing to see that. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Still need to catch up on the comics. I've read a little bit of them. Yeah, need to get back to that because I've heard they're this and even more. So, cool times. If you haven't seen it, damn well see it now. Third of all, kind of teased last time, High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. Now I think I've got 3 books by Nick Hornby. This, About a Boy, both of which I have the film as well, and yeah, a book called 31 Songs. Now, 31 Songs you probably haven't heard of unless you know Nick Hornby stuff or avid reader or whatever. It's kind of what I wanted to do with the cover videos actually. It's stories related to certain songs. At least that's what I remember. I haven't read it in a little while, never completed it, but there's separate songs, so 31 songs, and he talks about the songs and how it relates to him, I believe. So yeah, that's very cool. So check that out. Might show you that later. But High Fidelity, both the book and film, I will admit I saw the film first, and you know why I love that film partially. Jack Black. There's something about that. When he walks in, you're just like, yeah, that's pretty much him. That's cool. But the film and the book, I had to read the book because I love the film so much, and the book is better. I'm not one of those guys who would be like, oh yeah, read the book, it's much better. It really is better. Not putting down the film, but there are certain bits in it that are elaborated upon, of course. There's a bit in the film about God's soul, and it's kind of shrugged off a little bit, but in this it does sum up exactly the sentiment of that line in the context of the story. And it's essentially a film about a record store and the record store owner and his staff as such, / mates, and reassessing his previous relationships and the relationship he's kind of in but broken away from. And it's looking at multiple things of what was wrong with the women, what was wrong with him, what did he do wrong, and just so much self-assessment along with the comedy and the vibe of the record store. So yeah, so many things I love about it. That and Scott Pilgrim together sum up a lot of I guess thought processes and things I'm connected to. So Scott Pilgrim's more sort of like styles and stuff that I love, and references I love. Now there are references in High Fidelity, absolutely, that's brilliant too. But this more, I more relate to this in sort of a self-assessment sense. And I can't help but watch the film over and over. I've only read the book once. I'm not really the kind of person who tends to read a book more than once. On that side note, I did continue reading Yes Man today as I was driving around trains. So back to that. Very good times, as good as I remember. But yeah, I might pick that up again at some point because it really, really is that good. If you've seen the film, read the book. Absolutely read the book. It's not a drag of a book, because I know some people are like, the book, can't be bothered. It's not a drag of a book at all. Same with Yes Man as well. Both books you can jump into and really relate to. At the very least, watch those films. But yeah, that's it for this time. And hopefully if you like it, you will like, you will subscribe, and you will share. YouTubes! But bye for now.